Hey you guys, so I'm so sorry of how I look. I look like poop, but anyways, this is I think episode 4 of me being here and Mason being at basic training. So anyways, I think the last time I updated you guys, I think I said that I got a phone call from Mason on Martin Luther King. I really don't know what I said in those. I think it was those 4 letters. But if you guys don't know, he called me on Martin Luther King Day and I was at Carrabba's that day. He called around like 8 o'clock for me. It was probably 7 o'clock for him. And we got to talk and it was so amazing to hear him talk, like hear his voice and getting to ask a bunch of questions I had for him. He was saying that he gets his phone back once a week. So I'm still waiting. It's Tuesday this week and I'm still waiting for a phone call. Actually, he was texting me today because he got his phone back real quick for financial stuff that he had to do. And he said that his back has been hurting and he thinks that he's pulled something, or I don't know exactly what is wrong. But yeah, I couldn't text him that much because I was in class. And so anyways, after he called me on Martin Luther King, I was not getting any letters because when he called me, he said that he can finally start writing again. Of course, I'm writing to him every single day and sending it the day I write it. And I asked him also when we were on the phone if he has gotten my letters. He said no, he hasn't. But then yesterday, it's been a couple of days and I wasn't getting any letters. And yesterday I checked the mail because I know weekends we don't get any mail. The mailman doesn't come. But I checked and I got 6 letters from him. I know he did not send these all during one day, but I just received them all in one day. So I have a lot of catching up to do for you guys. So the days are, it says day 3, January 17th, but then this one says day 4 of basic, January 17th. So I don't know if they're the same day or if it's different. And then I have 18, 19, 20, and 21. So let's just get started. So this is January 17th or January 16th, one of those days. I'm trying to read things and try not to say the same thing that I've been saying before, because he says the same things like he misses me, he wishes he's getting his phone back, and all that stuff is basically the same. So I'm not going to reread that. I'm just going to give you guys like the basic information that he was saying. So in this letter, he was telling me that he can finally tell me what a day like is for him at basic training. And he calls it hell. He says that they have to be up at 4:30 a.m., but the drill sergeants wake us up at 4:15 a.m. so we can be ready and in line for information by 5 o'clock. After standing in formation for about 15 minutes or less, possibly being yelled at and being made to do push-ups or something, we head to chow. And chow is, I guess, food, like their lunchtime and stuff like that. So that's what chow is. And we normally get to chow by 6 a.m. So that's probably like breakfast. And he said chow is the worst time of the day. He said a couple of days ago he had a mental breakdown because 4 sergeants were standing all around him, literally 3 inches from his face, yelling at him, and their spit started to go all over him. And he had a flashback of when he was living with his mom and ended up starting to have a panic attack and started tearing up in frustration and calling him a baby. He said the drill sergeant swears so much. Then after breakfast, they march back to the building to use the bathroom, and then they go into classroom for training. And basically that is sitting in a chair, taking notes for hours. Before they go to lunch, they're allowed to go to the bathroom. I guess they call the bathroom a latrin. I don't know what that means, but maybe some other word for bathroom. And they said, we are only allowed to go to the bathroom when they say. They are really strict on when they allow you to go. They said after lunch, they go back into the classroom till dinner time. All the while, if you mess up, they make you do physical exercises. Then after dinner, they come back to their barracks and usually have 2 minutes or less in the shower. And in those 2 minutes, you have to shower and brush your teeth. That's the only time they get to do personal hygiene. I think that's what it says. Then he says you have about 30 minutes until lights are out and you have to be in bed. He said that's a normal day for him. He said that everybody has thought about quitting, especially Mason, but he's not going to. He said that day he went to church and he said it's nothing like church at home and he really misses it and everyone else at home. And he said someone got baptized at church there. Then he looked behind him and it was starting to snow. And he said that day was also a free day. We really have the entire day to ourselves. However, most of the day have been cleaning our barracks and organizing our stuff. He was saying that his upper back has been hurting and sometimes his basketball injury has been acting up too. He said that he should be able to write every day here on out, but if he couldn't, then it's not because he doesn't want to. It's just because the drill sergeants aren't letting them. Okay, so that was basically all it said in that letter, and there's just some other things that I've said in my videos before, and I'm not going to repeat it. So this is day 4 basic training, but it still says January 17th, so I'm not sure if he got confused on the dates. He said, sorry that I have not been writing the past couple of days. It doesn't matter because I got all these letters in the same day. He said it was super crazy that day. He said this place is literally hell. He knows about 10 people who are quitting already. And he said it has crossed his mind at least once. Supposedly, we get our phones on Sunday, and I think it was actually Monday that they got their phones. I'm pretty sure I said this in another video, but he said that he does not want to sign another enlistment after this. He said the military is nothing like what any of us expected. For example, when we go to eat, there is no peace and quiet. Drill sergeants are constantly screaming in your face, and we have little time to eat. We all have said that we didn't expect this, and the worst part is there is nothing that could have prepared us for what we are coming into. He said, sorry if my handwriting is sloppy, but I'm writing this at about 4:15 a.m. in my bed with only a flashlight lighting up the paper. And that's funny because this girl at church, her daughter, she used to say that her daughter would hold a flashlight and be writing letters to her family, and that's what Mason's doing also, which is funny. He said these beds are super uncomfy and they are made like bunks, and I sleep on the bottom, but because of my size, whenever I wake up, I always hit my head on the bunk above me. I'm surprised I haven't gotten a concussion by now. And he said that he has pictures of me that he's had for a long time in his wallet, and he keeps it under his pillow. And I guess sometimes when he's upset or whatever, he takes them out and he's like, I know you can't hear me, but sometimes I talk to the pictures. And you know what's really funny? I do that with the bear that Mason got me. Sometimes I'll just like say, are you doing okay? I hope you're doing well, Mason. I love you. And that might sound really weird, but I do that with the bear, and that's funny because he does it with the pictures. So that was all for those two. Now I have January 18th. I think this is the day that he called me on Martin Luther King. So it's really nice to like have a letter that he's kind of like responding to me instead of me just writing and getting letters, and it's like not answering questions that I've been asking, you know. Right on the top it says, it meant the world to me hearing your voice. I love you. Keep making me proud. He woke up that day in the frozen tundra of hell they call basic training. I guess it was really snowy there. And he said, because it's Martin Luther King Day, we really are not training. He said today they had to wear their PT clothes, but they really don't keep us warm. The temperature is 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and with wind it is in the negatives. He said he was hoping that he would get his phone that day, which he did. He heard that one of the platoons got theirs. He said it's about 2 o'clock now, and we just got back from a talk with the drill sergeants of our platoon. He said, I swear the more I hear their sergeants talk, the more I believe they don't have a heart. He said that he just misses here, and he misses being able just to talk to his dad and just, even misses working at Jimmy John's. He was saying, what am I doing that day? I'm assuming since you don't work today, you're on your computer, maybe planning the wedding or with one of our families. And then at the very bottom, he said, oh yeah, do you want to do anything for a honeymoon? Do you want to just spend my leave together? He should have asked before he left, but it just slipped his mind. And so yeah, that's the end of that one. Alright, so now I have January 19th, and it says, he said, I know last night on the phone I told you I hate it here. I'm assuming it will get better, but even if not, I'm going to push through it to marry you and to provide a better life for us and our future kids. It's just challenging right now. And then he said, it was great to hear your voice last night. This place has gotten to all of us, but talking to you snaps me out of it. And I've been smiling since. It is such a great feeling to know that you're doing okay and aren't spending a lot of time by yourself, but rather with both of our families. He said he was wondering what he would be missing while he was away, and he said, I'm so proud of you and happy for you passing your driving test and getting your permit. I knew you can do it. You are so amazing and I love you so much. I was shocked to hear you had been going to the gym. I know you were talking about it, but it never actually became a full thing. When I get back, maybe we can go together and you can drive me, which was really funny for him to say. He said, wow, it is weird to write that. I wish we could have had a longer time to talk, but they never said how much time we would get, and whenever they said 1 minute, we had to get off our phones and put it in the bin by the end of the minute, or else we wouldn't get our phone time next week. That was really hard to say. He said, I didn't mean to end it so quick. He said, I'm still trying to get over the fact that you passed and you are going to be driving my car, which I have not been driving his car. I've been driving my dad's car. You should have heard me after our phone call when I was talking with the guys. I felt like a parent bragging about their kid. The guys would ask me who I called, and I would say my fiance, and then explain all the things you did while I was gone. He's glad that I got the flowers, and he was afraid that they wouldn't show up for some reason. He said he finally wrote to his parents last night. Usually he's fine during the day, but then over the course of the day, he said his mood just goes down. He says, I don't know if it is the atmosphere of a prison-like structure or if it's just that I miss you so much and can't wait to be with you. He said in one of the classes today, we were told about the rules of relationship in military again. It is ridiculous. And he said, just so you know, when I'm in uniform, PDA has to be low. So when we see each other, we can definitely hug and kiss, but then we can't go crazy, you know? I've already begun a tally mark calendar to count down the days till I'm done here. So I'm guessing he knows when he's going to be done, the exact date, which I really need to know. He said, but can you please keep me up on the wedding planning, and if you want to ask me anything, I'll be more than happy to answer. So that was the end of that one. January 20th is 2 letters. Formation got canceled due to bad weather. He said last night was hailing, and over the course of the night it kept snowing and then froze over. So not only did formation at 5 o'clock a.m. get canceled, but our 1 mile run, 1 minute push-up, and 1 minute sit-up assessment also got canceled, which I guess that's a good thing. He said, and many of us are happy about that because we really didn't want to have to stand in the cold for a couple hours and not really warm clothes. He said, last night was the best night I have had since I've been here, and I haven't talked to you on the phone. He said, last night our drill sergeant actually treated us like humans and was joking around with us and communicating nicely rather than yelling. He said he still hasn't received my letters yet, and he was hoping they hand out letters tonight. He also found out that in the military, you apparently get a winter leave and a summer leave. That is usually 2 weeks long, but I don't think that counts in basic training. Maybe in schooling and stuff. Oh, and I don't know if you were planning on buying a car, but I would wait until we found out where I was stationed. He said he was also going to try and get out of his airborne contract that he has attached to his MP. He said, the more I think about it, the less I really want it. Plus, if I get out of it, I can come home and see you 2 weeks sooner. Nobody knew what was going on that day, and right now either guys were writing letters or sleeping on the hard floor or just chatting. It's nice to relax rather than constantly be doing stuff and on the move. He said so many people have fallen asleep during classes or standing in line. He said he found the best way, this is really weird, but he finds the best way to stay awake is putting hand sanitizer on like the top of his lip to stay awake. Then he said, I finally received your first 2 letters, and exclamation points. He said, I love you so much. He said, I have a place to keep all the letters. He said, the perfume that I sent him on like this piece of paper, he said it stayed on the photos and paper. I have them in a safe spot. As soon as I smelled it, I started tearing up. He said, I understand your letters perfectly. I love them. He mostly cried through all the letters and laughed at other parts. He said when he gets back, he'll join the gym that I met. Because I told him I made my first crock-pot dinner. He said maybe I can make him a crock-pot dinner. He said he's happy that I'm using the bear and that it's helping. I told him that I slept on his side of the bed and I've been wearing his shirt, like this one I'm wearing, one of his shirts right now. He said that's really cute, and so is sleeping in my clothes. It makes me feel so good. Told him that I got a haircut and I said it's up to my boob because that's the only description I can explain it, you know? And he said that, by the way, the haircut description made me laugh. He said, as for my food touching, I've had to learn to get over it. You should see what I mix when I have to, lol. For example, applesauce and corn, whatever it takes to eat. He said, the place we sleep in is warm enough and we are giving a bunch of blankets. As for warm clothes, when you get your uniform, they usually issue clothes meant for winter time. And I asked if I can get my own dog tags, and he said, yes, we can get you dog tags. I was planning on doing that, and I asked him if I wrote the address correctly on the envelope, and he said I did. Me and the guys were talking today, and I told them about how we met. They all said the same thing. How did you manage to get her? He said your laundry statement made me laugh because I told him that he has to do his own laundry. I'm like, you have to do your own laundry finally? He said, by the way, I get the letters at night before I go to bed. It's funny how in the first letter it was on lined paper and then construction paper. Only because I was going to spray the perfume on the construction paper. And if I did on lined paper, it would have like bled through, you know? And he said, I also understand about the randomness in the writing because I do it all too. Because and whatever I'm thinking, I'm just writing down and it gets really random. So that's it for that one. And the last one is January 21st. He said, so yesterday I got your first 2 letters. But today I didn't receive any. He said, I'm assuming you're sending one every day, and I'm sending one every single day. He said that he is constantly looking at the photos now, because I sent him, I think, 3 photos or 2, and he loves smelling the perfume. He said, today we had a medical training class and I couldn't look at the pictures without feeling a little bit of an upset stomach. The guy that was teaching the class was really funny, so he made it entertaining. He said, honestly, these days are so hard even though the guys here are supportive, they don't compare to you. He said, I've been biting my fingernails so much lately. I know everyone is so proud of me for doing this, but I would do anything to have my old life back. He said that day that he thinks he re-injured himself. He re-injured his basketball injury and may have pulled something in his back. So that's probably what he was texting me today about. He said he started limping, and one of the drill sergeants said he was going to counsel me for it. Counseling is like a write-up here. Some guy has 2, and they were either trying to get him moved or out of the army. They literally don't care about what happens to you. They try and say you can talk to them, but that is such bullshit. It is so hard here. Today we also had another very cold day. It reminded him of Florida, where it was snowing at one time and then 5 minutes later it was sunny. But unlike Florida, it is hardly ever sunny here. It is usually an overcast. After we get married, we'll try to find like an apartment or something like that, or a house, wherever we're going. He said, I'm going to see the chaplain, I think. He said, I'm going to see the chaplain tomorrow and ask him. The chaplain is what they call the pastor here, and soldiers can go to him for anything. I find him much easier to talk to than the drill sergeants. So that's all the letters that I received. I know that was a lot for you guys to all listen to, but if you guys listen to this whole thing, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Give it a thumbs up if you guys like these, and a thumbs down if you don't like these, and I'll try to think of something else to do. But I kind of am just doing it for myself, and I know that Mason's sisters watch my videos, so I'm kind of doing it for them to hear what their brother's doing. So if you guys have any video ideas, please leave them down below. I might do a daily vlog video like every day of the week, you know, so you guys can see what I do every day of the week. While Mason is gone. I would like to do that kind of video. And if you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe to my videos. If you guys are in what I'm going through, I would love to hear from you. Subscribe so you know when my videos are up. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!